Hey guys, this is Michael and Christina from Journey of a Compass, and this is week 10 of our vlog series, and this week we're talking about
flexibility.
I love a plan. I love it when I know exactly what I'm gonna do the moment I wake up till the moment I go to sleep.
Being flexible for travel is you never really know what to expect. So if you do have expectations, you definitely need to change them. One of my experiences, whenever I went to Thailand years ago, we had booked an accommodation for about 12 of us, and we had booked it months in advance, and we arrived and they told us that a reservation did not exist. So there was about 12 of us standing there, not knowing what to do, and it was a few days before New Year's Eve, so most places, most accommodations were already booked. So we felt we were in a bind, but fortunately we just walked around and asked around until we found a spot that was vacant, and we were able to find accommodations for the few nights that we were there.
Another example is when my girls and I went to Belize last year. We looked for a place on Hostelworld that was relatively inexpensive and saw a pretty cool place that said it was a animal sanctuary. It said it was pet friendly, and so we saw, okay, this could be pretty neat. When we showed up, there were about 65 cats. What we did was really roll with the punches and said, okay, what types of hostels are around here that we would be able to explore? And so at that point, we did pack up our bags pretty quick and looked for different accommodations. And so flexibility was for sure key in that situation.
On the topic of accommodations, obviously being flexible with your place that you have, and also with regards to the cleanliness or the people that you might be with. Not every time that you book an accommodation, especially if you're in a hostel or in a shared space, will you get someone that you may be compatible with or may not be compatible with. Some places might be clean and some places might not be clean to your standards. So it all depends, and that flexibility is going to be a huge or a key component when it comes to accommodation or choosing your accommodations.
Missed flights, delays, we're not ones to really panic or freak out over those types of things.
It happens.
It does, and if you need to sleep on the floor of an airport for a night, we're pretty flexible and we've done it before and we're ready to do it again.
You gotta be open to certain changes or certain things that come your way, whether it is a missed flight, a delayed bus, a bus that doesn't show up,
or a train ride that takes 12 hours instead of 6.
Yeah, and then you miss your flight because of it, which is another story we don't need to get into.
Being flexible with regards to time is also really important. The West is super programmed and time conscious, and the rest of the world really isn't. So it's really being aware of that, and that's something that we've had to adapt to.
Yeah, I mean, in the Western world, you got that 9-to-5 life, and it's weekdays structured, and then the weekends are short-lived, and it's kind of all packed and programmed and planned into this time frame that is out of our control. But then you go to island time, as they call it, and it's kind of like you do as you please, you go at your own pace, you do things when you're ready to do them. So it's definitely a bit of a flexibility change with regards to that as well. A good one in this instance.
Yeah, and not holding other people to the expectation of being super on time or early like we were raised.
Exactly. We need to have that flexibility for those delays in flights and buses and just excursions sometimes as well.
Yeah.
So that rolls us into daily plans for flexibility as well, because if you have a set goal of what you want to do throughout that day and you have everything all structured out to do it, but something presents itself and you no longer can do that opportunity, or you can no longer take advantage of that opportunity because your plan or your day is so planned out, then you might miss out on something amazing. So having flexibility in your day-to-day planning is really important.
When you set your intention to being flexible, you're essentially being more open to opportunities and to meeting new people, which always leads to new adventures.
Yeah.
Which we've realized is the way to go, as opposed to being super programmed. It's being aware and setting that intention so that you can meet new people and you can essentially join on their adventures or allow them to open your eyes to a new way of living, a new community, and things like that.
Yeah, flexibility and open-mindedness come hand in hand.
If you love our videos, we would love for you guys to subscribe. Basically, it opens up a whole ton of options once we have 100 subscribers. We're not big YouTube sensation, but we'd love to do a little bit more things with our videos. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you next week.